Well, hello everyone. I'm back again today, like I said I would yesterday. And what I'm doing today is to talk to you about the Euro 2020 Group B. So thanks very much for coming to visit me today at my channel. I hope you enjoy your stay with me, and I hope you enjoy the video I've got for you today. Now in Group B, we've got Russia, we've got Finland, we've got Denmark, and we've got Belgium. So some quite strong sides there, really. So it should be an interesting group. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get on with it. But before I go and get started, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Please make sure that you put a like on the video, and make sure that you help me to get this channel known out in the big wide yonder, by passing it around to people that you think might be interested in watching it. That'd be really, really great if you could do that for me. I'd be really, really grateful. Anyway, so yeah, enough of my waffling on, and let's get on with it. So let's get started with my preview for Group B for the Euro 2020 competition. Now, we're going to start. This group has got Denmark, it's got Belgium, it's got Finland, and it's got the Russians. So let's get started. Let's start with Denmark. Now, in qualifying for the Euro 2020, they came second in Group D behind Switzerland. And in their qualifying games, they beat Switzerland at home 1-0, drew 3-3 away, 3-3 with the Swiss away from home. They drew 1-1 with the Republic of Ireland at home and drew 1-1 away. And then they defeated Georgia 5-1 at home and drew 0-0 away. And then they beat Gibraltar 6-0 at home and away. Now, Denmark's record in European Championship finals and World Cup finals matches is that they played 46 games, they've won 16, they've drawn 12 and lost 18, and scored 56 goals and conceded 60, and managed to get a total of 60 points under a 3 points for a win system. Now, let's just give you a little bit of background now about the Danish Football Association, or Union as they call themselves, the DBU. They're the governing body of football in Denmark, and it's based in the city of Brøndby, and is a founder member of both FIFA and UEFA. They've reached 5 World Cup finals in their history, which were in 1986, 1998, 2002, 2010 and 2018. They've reached 9 European Championship finals in 1964, 1984, 1988, 1992, 1996, 2000, 2004 and 2012. And obviously this current one that was going to be starting at the end of the week. Now, since 1983, the team has continuously been visible as a solidly competitive side, with the triumph in the 1992 European Championship in Sweden as its most prominent victory, defeating defending champions, the Dutch, and also in the semi-final, and then the Germans in the final. Their best World Cup result was achieved in 1998, when they narrowly lost 3-2 in a quarter-final against Brazil. Now, as we've just seen, we just had a look at their record in combined World Cup finals and European Championships matches. And just to go back to that championship in Sweden, because the story behind that European Championship, in Sweden, because that's quite a remarkable story, really. What happened was, in that tournament, Yugoslavia was still at that stage competing as one single entity until the war in the former Yugoslavia broke out, and then they weren't able to compete in the 1992 finals in Sweden. So Denmark were asked by UEFA to take Yugoslavia's place. The team were on the beach, relaxing and having a nice summer holiday, and as you would probably, and then they came off the beach, packed their bags and went off to the tournament and went on to win it. And one of the goals in the final was scored by ex-Arsenal player, an ex-Arsenal player who hardly ever scored a goal. So yeah, that's quite a remarkable story, really. Now, if we look at their competitive record against other finalists historically, Denmark are the 11th best team of the 24 teams who have qualified for the Euros this summer. Now, we had a look at how they got on in qualifying for the tournament, and like I said, they qualified from Group D, and then at the moment Denmark's UEFA ranking is 22 and their FIFA ranking is 10. Now, their current form, let's have a look at their current form. In the last 5 games, they've beaten Israel 2-0 in a World Cup qualifier. They've beaten Moldova 8-0. They've beaten Austria 4-0. They've drawn with Germany 1-0 and beaten Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0. Now, their head coach is a chap by the name of Kasper Hjulmand. I hope I pronounced that properly. Probably haven't, but so sorry, apologies for that. Yeah, so he's the current head coach of the Danish side, and we can bear with me and just a second. Yeah, so for every Dane, not only football fans, like I said, 1992 is immediately associated with one of the country's finest hours. It was a summer in which Richard Møller, Nielsen, Denmark's team, surprised everyone, perhaps including themselves, by lifting the European Championship trophy in Sweden. The images from Copenhagen city centre, the songs, the goals from John Fax Jensen and Kim Vilfort, the saves from Peter Schmeichel. There are enough treasured memories for the Danes to last a lifetime. Now, the players to watch in this tournament are Christian Eriksen. He's won 103 caps and scored 36 goals, and he's the creative force in the Danish team. And by the time the Euros start, he'll only be 29 years old, which is, I find a bit difficult to believe, really. Seems like he's been around for ages. And then Peter Schmeichel's son, Kasper Schmeichel, the goalkeeper, he's been in goal for quite a while now, and he hasn't faltered in the shadow of his father. He's a commanding and world-class keeper. He ensures the Danes are always hard to beat when he's between the posts. Now, their group matches for this Euros are that they're going to be playing Finland on the 12th of June at the Parken Stadion in Copenhagen. They'll be playing Belgium again at the Parken Stadium in Copenhagen. And again, finally, on the 21st of June, they'll be playing Russia again at the Parken Stadium in Copenhagen. So that's a big advantage for them to play all their Group B opening fixtures at at home. So now, if they manage to get out of the group, then and if they qualify out of the group as winners, they will face the third place team from either Group A, Group D, Group E, or Group F in Bilbao. If they finish second in Group B, they will face the country that finishes second in Group A in Amsterdam. And then if they finish third in their group, they could face either the winners of either Group E or Group F, depending on their record when finishing third in their first round qualifying group matches compared with the other sides that finished third. Now, let's see who's up next. Finland are up next. Now, the Finnish team has been a member of FIFA since 1904 and a UEFA member since 1957. The SPL, as they're known, is based in the Finnish capital city of Helsinki, and Finland qualified for Euro 2020 from Group J, where they finished behind the winners of the group, Italy. Now, in their qualifying group, they lost home and away to Italy, as did all the rest of the group. But for them, they lost 2-1 at home to the Italians and 2-0 away. They defeated Greece at home 1-0, lost 2-1. They defeated Greece at home 1-0, and they lost 2-1 away in Greece. They defeated Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0 at home and lost 4-1 away, and then defeated Armenia 3-0 at home and 2-0 away. And then finally Liechtenstein, they defeated 3-0 at home and 2-0 away. So they're combined if we compare their performance with the other finalists, historically Finland with North Macedonia are equally the 23rd best team of the 24 teams that qualified for this summer's Euros. The reason for this is because neither of those two countries have ever qualified for a World Cup or European Championship finals. Now, if we look at their records in World Cups and European Championship finals, because they've never actually made it to a World Cup finals or a European Championships, there's no information to show there. So obviously it's zeros right across the board. Now, moving on. As I said, they've never ever reached a World Cup finals or European Championships in their history. So this summer is going to be their debut in a major finals tournament. Now, FIFA's UEFA ranking is 36 and their FIFA ranking is 54. Now, their coach is a chap by the name of Marco Kanerva. Now, before we look at him, let's just have a look at their current form. Now, the current form, they've drawn 2-2 with Bosnia and Herzegovina. They've drawn 1-1 with Ukraine. They lost 3-2 to Switzerland. They lost 2-0 to Sweden and 1-0 to Estonia. Now, the games against Bosnia and Ukraine were World Cup qualifying matches, and the games with Switzerland, Sweden and Estonia were friendly matches. Now, as I was about to start telling you, Markku Kanerva is the Finland manager. He's a five-time Finnish champion with HJK, and he spent 12 years with the under-21 national team, and where he was assistant to the senior side before taking the reins in 2016. Now, their main key player is Timo Pukki, who is Norwich, he plies his trade in the well, he was plying his trade up until Norwich City won promotion in the Championship, and obviously because Norwich have won promotion, thankfully for their fans, he will be now in the coming season be once again playing in the English Premiership. Now, he has long been earmarked as a player of great goal-scoring talent. Pukki has found another gear since signing for Norwich in 2018, and his goals have powered Finland's recent successes. Now, another one to look out for is a guy by the name of Fredrik Jensen. He's a 23-year-old Augsburg winger, and he has hit the ground running with the senior national team, developing a knack of chipping in with vital goals. Now, Finland's most recent matches we've already looked at. So let's see what's coming up next, what we got for you. Right, so let's look at their fixtures in Group B, okay? So their opening fixtures in Group B, they're going to be playing their Scandinavian rivals Denmark on the 12th of June at the Parken Stadium in Copenhagen. On the 16th of June, they'll be playing the Russians in the St. Petersburg Stadium in St. Petersburg. And then finally, on the 21st of June, they'll be playing Belgium at the St. Petersburg Stadium. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting group because I can imagine that's going to be a very difficult and competitive group. So let's see who they could face if they qualify at the group. Potentially, if they do get out of the group, if they win that qualifying group, they will face a third place team from either Group A, D, E or F in Bilbao. If they finish second in Group B, they will finish the country that finishes second in Group A in Amsterdam. And then if they finish third in their qualifying group, they could face either the winners of Group E or Group F, depending on their record in comparison to the other teams who finished third in their first round qualifying group. And that game will potentially take place in Bucharest or Hampden Park in Glasgow. Now, so let's move on. Now, who's up next, I can hear you say. And here we go, here we have it, it's the Red Devils, Belgium. Now, Belgium, both FIFA and UEFA were co-founded by the Royal Belgian Football Association, and they have had periods of regular representation at the highest level of international football from 1920 to 1938, and then from 1982 to 2002, and again from 2014 onwards. They have alternated most unsuccessfully with qualification rounds. The Belgians have had victories over 4 reigning world champions, West Germany, Brazil, Argentina and France between 1954 and 2002. Since 1906, they've also been known as the Red Devils, as I mentioned at the very start of their story. Now, Belgium qualified for Euro 2020 from qualifying Group I, where they played Russia, Scotland, Cyprus, Kazakhstan and San Marino. Now, in that qualifying group, they defeated Russia home and away, winning 3-1 at home and 4-1 away. They defeated Scotland home and away, 3-0 at home and 4-0 away. They defeated Cyprus at home 6-1. They defeated Cyprus 2-0 at home. Then they defeated Kazakhstan 3-0 at home and 2-0 away. And then finally, San Marino, who they defeated 9-0. That's 9. And then 4 at home and then 4-0 away. Now, if we look at a table of comparison against the other finalists, we can see that Belgium are the 8th best team of the 24 teams who qualified for the Euros this summer. And their combined record in World Cup finals and European Championship finals matches is that they've played 69, won 32, drawn 8, lost 29, scored 98 goals, conceded 99, and managed to get 104 points. So as you can see, it's quite even wins and losses and the amount of goals scored and conceded. So it seems that they're quite an up and down side over their history. Now, they've managed to reach 13 World Cup finals in their history, which were in 1930, 1934, 1938, 1954, 1970, 1982, 86, 90, 94, 98, 2002, 2014 and 2018. They have reached 6 European Championship finals, which were in 1972, 1980, 1984, 2000 and 2018. And then obviously this one that's coming up. Belgium's best performance at the FIFA World Cup came in the 2018 World Cup when they defeated England in the 3rd and 4th playoff match. And their best performance in the Euros came in Euro 1980 when they lost 2-0 to West Germany in the final. Currently, Belgium's UEFA ranking is that they're 3rd in Europe, and their FIFA ranking is that they're number 1. Now, let's look and see what else we can find out about this team. So, their current form in the lead up to the Euros, they've defeated Wales 3-1 in a World Cup qualifying match. They've drawn 1-1 with the Czech Republic in a World Cup qualifying match. They defeated Belarus 8-0 in a World Cup qualifying match. And they've drawn 1-1 with Greece in an international friendly. And they defeated Croatia 1-0 in a friendly match. Now, the head coach is a guy by the name of Roberto Martinez, who is a ex-Spanish midfielder who has managed at Everton, and he's also, I think he was manager at Wigan, and he also managed for a while in Scotland, I believe. It's also known that he's carved out a niche in English football, and Martinez has been in charge of Belgium since 2016. Now, their key player, no surprises here, is Kevin De Bruyne. And the 2019-20 UEFA Champions League midfielder of the season picked up 4 goals and 7 assists in just 6 Euro qualifiers. And Martinez is key provider and the creative force in that team, and set up 20 Premier League goals for Manchester City last season, equaling Thierry Henry's league record. Another one to watch is Yuri Tielemans, a relatively youthful 24 in a side packed with established talent. And Leicester's versatile midfielder has a venomous shot from distance, as he proved in the 2021 FA Cup final, not to mention his great distribution. Belgium's another key player to watch, in my opinion, is the goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois. who, in my opinion, is a great goalkeeper and one of the top 3 goalkeepers in the world at present. Now, as we saw, we've already looked at their Belgium's most recent matches and performances, so we'll just skip over that. Now, they have, in Group B, they'll be opening their campaign with a game against Russia on the 12th of June, and then their second game will be against Denmark in the Parken Stadion in Copenhagen, and then finally they'll be playing at the St. Petersburg Stadium again, as they did for their match against Russia, with a game against Finland on the 21st of June. What else have we got? Now, if Belgium win their group, which many people are tipping them to do, their next opponents, if they win that group, will be a game against a 3rd place team from either Group A, D, E or F in Bilbao. If they manage somehow to finish second, they will face a second place team in Group A, which contains Wales, Turkey or Switzerland, and Italy in Amsterdam. But if they finish 3rd in their qualifying group, they could face either the winners of Group E or Group F, depending on their record when compared with other 3rd round finishers. And that game is likely to take place, or could potentially take place, at Bucharest or Hampden Park in Glasgow. Right, so that means the last team that we have to look at is the Russians. So Russia have been a member of FIFA since 1912 and a member of UEFA since 1954. Russia's best result was in 2008 when the team won bronze medals, and then with the fall of the Soviet Union, the Soviet Union, Modern Russian Football Union, was formed on the 8th of February 1992. Now, let's see. Yeah, so Russia qualified for Euro 2020 from Group I, when they finished runners-up, strangely enough, to Belgium. Now, and they managed to get drawn in Group B together. I don't know. I wasn't sure that was allowed to happen, but there you go. Shows you what I know. Yeah, so in Group I, they lost 4-1 at home to Belgium and 3-1 away to Belgium. They defeated Scotland 4-0 at home and 2-1 away. They defeated Cyprus 1-0 at home and 5-0 away. They've defeated Kazakhstan 1-0 at home and 4-0 away. And then finally, they've defeated San Marino 9-0 and 5-0 at home. And then, like I say, 5-0 away. If we compare their performances in World Cups and European Championships against the other finalists, then historically, Russia are the 17th best team of the 24 teams who are qualified for the Euros this summer. And their combined record in World Cup finals and European Championships matches has been as follows. They've played 31, they've won 9, drawn 7, lost 15, scored 44 goals and conceded 49, and managed to get 34 points. They've reached 4 World Cup finals in 1994, 2002, 2014, and in 2018. And they have qualified for 6 European Championships in 1996, 2004, 2008 and 2016, and this summer's Euro 2020 finals. Russia's best performance in the European Championship finals came in 2008 when they finished fourth. Russia's best performance in the FIFA World Cup came in 2018 when they reached the quarterfinals. Their current UEFA ranking is 15th and their FIFA ranking is 38. Now, their current form, let's see what they're doing with their current form. So recently they've defeated Malta 3-1. They defeated Slovenia 2-1, Slovakia 2-1, Poland they've drawn 1-1 with, and they defeated Bulgaria by 1-0. So moving on, 2 seconds. Just give me 2 seconds while we get to the next bit. Now, they have their head coach is a guy by the name of Stanislas Cherchosov. He's a former Spartak Moscow and Russian goalkeeper. He took charge in the summer of 2016. And after 2 years of mixed friendly results, steered the host to the quarterfinals of the 2018 World Cup. Their key player is, well, one of their key players is a chap by the name of Artem Duziaba. He's a tall centre forward who plays with Zenit St. Petersburg and is Russia's captain and their top scorer amongst their active internationals, getting closer to Alexander Cherskakov's record of 30 goals. Another person to watch is Alexander Sobolev, a 24-year-old, won his first cap and scored his first senior international goal in a 2-1 friendly defeat by Sweden last October. With Duzabaya now 32, the tall Spartak Moscow striker is seen by many as his natural successor. Russia have not won in 5 European finals games. Their last victory was a 4-1 demolition of the Czech Republic in the UEFA Euro 2012 opener. Their group, the other 2 players to watch would be, in my opinion, the goalkeeper, Anton Chenin and Alexander Golovin. Now, their Group B matches, on the 12th of June, they face Belgium at home in the St. Petersburg Stadium. On the 16th of June, again at home in St. Petersburg Stadium, they face Finland. And then on the 21st of June, they face Denmark at the Parken Stadium in Copenhagen. And if they manage to get out of the group and win the group, and their next game, they will face the 3rd place team from either Group A, D, E or F in Bilbao. If they finish 2nd, they will face 2nd place team in Group A, which contains Wales, Italy, Turkey or Switzerland in Amsterdam. And then if they finish 3rd in their qualifying group, they could face either the winners of Group E or Group F, depending on their record in comparison to other teams who finished 3rd in their qualifying groups. And that game could either take place in Bucharest or Hampden Park in Glasgow. So that's Group B. Okay, everyone. Well, that's the end of today's episode. When we looked at Group B for the Euro 2020 competition that's coming up at the end of the week. We looked at Finland, we looked at Denmark, we looked at Belgium, and we looked at Russia. So there you go, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember, if you don't mind, before you leave, to put a like on the video. Please remember to share it with anyone that you know who you think might be interested. And also, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Now, tomorrow, hopefully, I'm going to be putting out my preview to Group C. So let's see how that goes anyway. But keep your notifications on, because that way you'll be kept up to date if I do manage to get it out. Anyway, I hope that you're all okay and that you're taking care of yourselves. Please remember, like I always say, to spread some share some love, friendship, kindness around the world, and make sure that you keep talking to each other and look out for each other. And yeah, and I hope you have a great time between now and the next time I see you. So hopefully, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Please take care. Bye for now. Bye.